It's the video everyone's been waiting for. So recently I put up a community post asking for questions to be put to Vanguard UK in relation to their investments or their platform. And true to form, you guys showed up. I had hundreds of replies, which I consolidated down into 6 main questions. I then had the pleasure of sitting down with Andrew Marker.
Hi, Andrew Marker. I am the head of the retail pension business at Vanguard UK. I look after the pension wrapper, the SIP, and also our ISA and GA from a propositional perspective.
Andrew's LinkedIn suggests he has 30 years worth of experience in the financial services industry, and he's been with Vanguard for just over 5 of those. We're very lucky to have him on the channel and to get his perspective on the questions that we want to ask Vanguard. And today we cover everything from fees, funds, we had a chat about my allergies, and yes, of course, we talk about the app. I just want to say that this video is not sponsored in any way, shape or form, but for full disclosure, I am a Vanguard customer. Let's go.
Welcome to Question Time.
One point that I raised in my video where I looked at 5 things I didn't like about the Vanguard UK platform, and one of the most commonly asked questions on the community post centred around the fund and ETF offering, mainly around accumulating ETFs. In short, why can you get a better choice of accumulating ETFs on other providers' platforms, on Vanguard's competitors' platforms? In essence, why is Vanguard UK not the home of Vanguard? Here's what Andrew had to say.
Yeah, it's on our agenda, so we're aware of it. I think over the past 12 months, I'd say we've been spending a lot of our time and effort on kind of delivering our SIP drawdown offer, enabling kind of the financial planning service that we offer now as well for our clients. But it's on our agenda. We are looking at we have added, I would say, some more ETF ranges to our UK offering, but we're looking at it across the board to ensure that we've got consistency. So it's on our agenda. I would say kind of watch this space. Things will be changing in the near future.
I was honestly expecting the answer to be the fund selection is the fund selection and it was based on consumer demand or something like this. But as Andrew pointed out, they are willing to expand the fund range and they will look to do that in the future. And at the minute, really, they've just been focused on the SIP drawdown feature and the advice side of the business that they've just launched, which are big projects. One theme that you'll see throughout the interview is that Vanguard is very willing to develop both the investment offering and the functionality of the website. It was also pointed out to me that the Vanguard UK website has only actually existed since 2017. So in reality, it's a pretty new site and it's still very much under development.
So we're doing quite a lot of work behind the scenes at the moment, so developing some new website experiences for our clients as well.
Only time will tell if they do expand their fund range, but after the conversation I had with Andrew, I would put a bet on that they will. But I would also bet that they're going to be quite cautious in their approach. I guess from their perspective, by sticking a new investment on their platform, they're signalling to investors that this might be a good thing to invest in. And Vanguard's focus long term is to make sure that your investments perform well, because then you're going to stick with their products. The next question leading off from this was to do with the fees. Vanguard entered the UK and got all other investing platforms in a right old state. Their low cost fees literally forced other brokers to reassess their own fees. But fast forward a few years and with the advancement of discount brokers like Trading 212 and Free Trade, it can actually be cheaper to buy Vanguard's funds on other platforms.
Yeah, so I'd start by saying we spend a lot of time thinking about fees. We focus quite a lot from the history of the company around low cost. So probably what's easier is if I just kind of give you a little bit of context around how we get to our fee structure, so that just to understand that. So the number one thing from a Vanguard perspective is making sure that the fees are clear and transparent for our investors. We totally believe that. We actually believe that across the board in the industry, not just at Vanguard. So when we look at our fees, we kind of look at how making sure that we don't have across subsidy across investors. We're making sure that there's no particular trading behaviors that generate different revenues on our funds, and ensuring that they're accurately reflecting the costs for the long term for investors. So those are kind of the key principles when we look at our fees. So we're aware that we're not going to potentially be always the cheapest across every platform in the UK, but when we looked at our analysis, we absolutely think that we are pretty much the lowest cost for majority of customers across the UK. So we think we're doing a fair job in making sure that we're offering low cost investing direct from Vanguard. I would say, as you look at our company, one of the histories of Vanguard is we look at how we kind of lower costs based on the way that we drive the scales from investing. So we will always be looking at that from a UK perspective as well. When there's an opportunity for us in order to reduce the cost further for our clients, that's what we would actually always look to do.
Credit where credit is due, Vanguard are transparent with their fee structure. You have the platform fee and you have the ongoing charge for using the fund. There was also someone in the comments who made a good point. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but they basically said, I'm not interested in the cheapest of cheap platforms. What I'm interested in is a balance of fair price and good service. I think with everything that's gone on in the last 18 months with some brokers, service has become more and more important to a lot of investors. And as we know from the original video, the Vanguard service in terms of customer service is pretty good.
Hello, good morning. You're free to Vanguard. This is Faye speaking.
I mean, that was pretty good. Andrew talks about fee analysis, and what I think he's alluding to here is the fact that different size portfolios are cheaper on different platforms at different times. For example, Freetrade's ISA fee makes them more expensive to investors with smaller pots of cash, but as you grow your funds with them, they can become cheaper. It was discussed how Vanguard really want to be fairly priced across the spectrum. So not just cheap for people with loads of money or cheap for people when they're just starting out, but instead fairly priced the whole way throughout the journey. So everyone pays fair fees. Maybe Boris should have a chat to them. Now, I want to pay as little fees as possible to invest, but one thing I have been considering recently when comparing brokers is the wider product offerings that they have available and how this may allow them to provide cheaper services elsewhere in order to attract customers in. Have you ever heard of loss leaders at supermarkets? This is the practice of selling products at losses in order to attract people into your store so they can buy other things. This is why petrol is often cheaper at supermarkets, and this is also why you can sometimes get outrageous deals on things like booze. So in the investing world, an example may be Trading 212. They have a CFD side of their app, which is highly profitable for them, as around 70% of people who invest in CFDs lose money. So it could be argued that maybe Trading 212 have a cheaper index fund offering in order to attract people onto the platform, knowing that a certain proportion of them will spill over to the CFD side where the real money's made. Now that's just pure speculation, but Vanguard don't have that sort of offering. In the same way, Freetrade don't have a CFD arm, but they charge for their ISA, and they've also put certain investments behind a paywall of about £9 a month. I think it's like their Freetrade premium account, in order to make the service profitable because they don't engage in the CFDs. Now let's move on to some of the points around the platform itself, starting with a quick one on
two-factor authentication. So I think if you withdraw funds from the Vanguard platform, you do send a text message to check if it was the person looking to withdraw the funds. From a login perspective, do you plan to introduce the two-factor authentication within the UK?
Yeah, so I think it's absolutely right. There are certain transactions around account maintenance that we have the security code. So as you alluded to around when you withdraw funds, we always want to kind of take feedback on board, and we note your feedback around the login account. So it's something we're definitely looking at for a future enhancement. So for us, it's Vanguard is about making sure that we are always looking to kind of protect our clients as well.
As I said in the clip, they do send you a text message if you want to withdraw money off the platform. But I think as investors, it would be reassuring to have that two-factor authentication, or the option to at least turn it on, so that when you're logging in, you get sent a text message with a code. So it isn't as simple as, username and password. The next one was the most liked comment on the thread, and that was issues with topping up funds. There's always been this weird bug on the platform that if you're already investing in a fund and you want to top it up, whenever you try and do it, you just can't for some reason, which is really annoying for us dollar cost averaging set it and forgetters.
Yeah, so pleased to say we are aware of that, but also it should be fixed now. So I'm really pleased to kind of confirm that should be working now.
Amazing.
But really appreciate the feedback from our clients, and again, we always encourage our clients to give us feedback. So send us a secure message or an email, and we will make sure we get the right people to look at that and actually address those issues, because service for our clients is one of the number one things we want to try and achieve at Vanguard.
Yeah, well, I'll top up my World Fund after this and make sure that it's working. I'll drop you a message if it's not. But yeah, great to hear. And
now, I'm not saying this because it's fixed, but it seems like a bit of a coinky-dink that we asked the question and now the problem's sorted. Go team! Put it to the test, guys. Is the top-up feature working now? And let me know below in the comments. That was an annoying bug that hopefully they've now resolved. But the main thing I want to take away here is Andrew's remarks around receiving feedback and how they take that on board. He mentioned the secure messaging feature. I thought it would be useful for me to show you how to do that so you can submit feedback if you wish. So once you've logged in, click the secure message, then just press send message here. Right, now it's time for the big one. Definitely the most asked question by far, and probably the most polarising point of debate for Vanguard users is the app. Do Vanguard think we should have an app? Do they have any plans to introduce one here into the UK? I'll play the whole clip here so you can see what was said in its full context.
probably the most widely asked thing, and I think the most hotly debated thing amongst Vanguard users is the inclusion of an app within the UK. it splits people. It's quite down the middle. This, a lot of people want an app for functionality perspective, and then other people don't want it because they like the set it and forget it style. Obviously, Vanguard have introduced or tested an app in the US, I believe, with Beacon. Is there plans to introduce an app to the UK? Where do you guys sit with that?
Yeah, so it's definitely something we're considering. I don't have exact timeframes at the moment, but I think, as you're aware, Vanguard takes quite a considered approach to development. So what we want to really primarily make sure of in the UK is that our investors have the best chance for investment success. So we focused all our efforts around our fund offering, making sure that customers are getting into balanced, diverse portfolios at a very low cost.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The US has launched its app. We're kind of getting some very good positive reception on that from clients, and we want to kind of take that feedback in as we consider that for the UK. I would say it's really important for our clients to share their feedback with us. So Vanguard works on feedback from our clients so that we deliver the right services and the right tools to our clients based on what they're asking for. So, I'd encourage our clients to share that feedback of what it is that they're looking for from a mobile app as well, so that we can put that together with what we're getting from the US and actually come up with a good delivery for our clients.
Yeah, because the website is, to your credit, optimized well for mobile phones. I have no problem there. I think a lot of people, especially a lot of the new investors that have come to the market, which I think you'll probably seen the age demographic shift quite considerably with a lot of new investors brought to the market in the last 12 months. They're just used to apps. There's a lot of people that don't have desktop, and I think they would just want a quicker route in to the service, the ability to do everything you could do on the website, but via the app, essentially. Yeah. Well, it's good to hear that you're considering it.
Yeah, totally understand that. I think what I would say is we're doing quite a lot of work behind the scenes at the moment, so developing some new website experiences for our clients as well. So there is more development on the way, and totally appreciate the need for an app from clients' perspective.
The thing that surprised me most here was the clear acknowledgement from Andrew that the app needs to happen.
Yeah, totally appreciate the need for an app from clients' perspective.
We can all be guilty of reading stuff online and thinking that it's fact. Rewind a couple of decades and I honestly thought that Sean Paul's dad was P. Diddy because I read it online once somewhere.
Now this is what the music industry is all about.
When it comes to Vanguard, I think a commonly held belief is that they've stated somewhere at some point that they don't have an app in the UK because they're looking to reduce costs. I'm not sure if that message has ever actually come out of Vanguard themselves or if it just originated in the dark depths of some Boglehead forum here in the UK. But anyway, it looks promising, doesn't it? They're having loads of success with the app in America, and Andrew seemed keen to introduce it here in the UK also. But in true Vanguard style, if they're going to do something, they're going to do it right. So they're going to take a cautious and measured approach towards the introduction of that app. So I wouldn't expect some ropey beta to come out that then gets developed. I would expect rather a finished product that's been considered carefully. But it looks promising and time will tell, and I know a lot of you will be excited about the idea and even just the nod from Vanguard that they acknowledged that an app in the UK would be a good idea. The final question is around further tax advantaged accounts.
Namely, the LISA and the junior SIP. I think people are quite interested in the junior SIP product, it would seem, because they're worried about their kids blowing all the money at 18. So it's one way to guarantee their future, isn't it? So the junior SIP product especially seemed quite popular.
Yeah, so we definitely intend to add a junior SIP. Again, I don't have exact timings for that. It's on our roadmap for kind of the medium term, I think, to add junior SIP. So that's the number one for us. The LISA, I would say, at the moment, we don't currently have plans for the LISA. We still see kind of a lot of merit in the ISA, and that's what most customers are actually using at the moment, particularly for that. I mean, we totally support all the recommendations made by, the Tax Incentivized Savings Association, so TISA, around what can be done with stocks and shares to make those, better products from an ISA perspective. So we'll continue to keep focus on that. I think, again, client feedback is really important for us. That's what drives us at Vanguard. We want to deliver what our clients are actually wanting from us. So the more clients tell us and give us direct feedback about what they're looking for, that helps us really to kind of prioritize the right deliverables for the client needs rather than anything else. And that's number one for us, because our clients are who we're there to serve.
So it does look like the junior SIP is on the cards. The fact that Vanguard agreed to do this meeting and for it to be posted online demonstrates that they really are focused on listening to consumer feedback and keeping them informed of developments. This is their first dabble into the online creator space, and as I pointed out before, while Vanguard is a business with decades of experience, the UK investing platform is only a few years old. I just want to say thank you to Andrew and to everyone at Vanguard who made this possible, because honestly, it's really impressive that you're taking the time to engage in this dialogue with us. You don't see many other UK-based investing platforms sitting down and having this sort of conversation. I, for one, find it quite reassuring that a business on a global scale that has 8 trillion under management is still taking the time to sit down and hear out individuals' concerns about their platform. Thank you.